All right, ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hillary,
Hi, I'm Eric Salzo again.
and I work here at ArCal, and Eric.
Works at Gateway Hudson Valley.
All right, and today we're going to talk a little bit about conflict resolution on the job. So, Eric, I think one of the biggest complaints I hear for people who are working is that their manager can be mean, give them a hard time, rude, don't listen, you name it. Issues with managers. So, what do we do?
Well, I would say over my experience of working, sometimes more now than ever, a manager has a lot of different responsibilities, so they might feel pressure from their manager that they have to get things done. So they could just be having a bad day, and they might not just be seeing what's going on with you, and they might just give a quick, like, all right, Hillary, you just got to do this. Sorry, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And
So
sometimes maybe they're going through some stuff and their affect can look like angry, and some people don't even realize that they look angry. So you can always say, like, are you doing okay today, to your manager? And they might say, well, no, this happened, that happened, thank you for asking, and you're building a relationship with them.
So I like this. So it sounds to me like you're saying is don't assume
Yep.
that your manager's face or the way they give you a direction has anything to do with you.
Yep.
Right? Just
Yep.
because someone's coming at you with a snarl or they're short with you and they give you a direction doesn't mean that you're in trouble or you've done anything wrong.
Yep.
All right. So that's a good place to start. Conflict resolution. It also sounds like if you're getting that message from your manager and you're concerned, just checking in with them. Hey, is everything okay? It's probably a good, really safe way to check in without maybe putting pressure on your manager who may already be feeling pressured because of things that we can't control. So that's a really good place to start. But let's suppose I'm getting that really negative feedback from my manager and it's clearly directed to me. That it's Eric, I need you to stop and I need you to focus on your job, right? It is clear.
Yep.
It's got a tone to it and it's upsetting me because I'm not sure what I did wrong. Well, how do I resolve that kind of issue?
Sometimes I like to think of, okay, when I'm at work, is this the day that all my friends visited and maybe I spent a little bit too much time talking to them rather than assisting other customers?
Mhm.
That could happen.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm just having a bad day, trying to keep it to myself, but once again, your affect, you look angry, mad, and you're not even realizing that you're doing that.
So, go ahead.
Yep, or you can even ask, like, you got to keep it objectively. You don't want to be subjective. You don't want to say, hey, you're taking everything out on me, but you can say, hey, I feel like I'm just not myself today. What do you think I can do to help that?
Ooh, so I like this. So it sounds like if you know that there's some negative energy being directed towards you, try to understand the situation before jumping in, right?
And making it worse by
making
yelling.
it worse, right? And matching. We don't have to match. If someone's coming at us with a negative energy, we don't have to. It's not a, hey, check this out and match me on this. We can stop and try to get a little more picture, try to understand what's going on, reflect on maybe some of the things that I did. So, if they want you to focus on your work and they're coming at you with a tone, maybe it's because I just took an hour lunch break when I was only supposed to take a half hour. Or maybe it's because it was really busy. Be aware of your surroundings and notice maybe the line at the cash register is 50 people deep and you've been sweeping a one square corner for the last half hour.
Yeah.
So, these are things that you can easily check. So we haven't even really gotten into what you need to say to someone. And I think that's, to me, where sometimes people go wrong is if they feel that there's conflict, they need to say something. And you can really start by evaluating the situation, the surroundings, and see what you can do before you have to, kind of come at someone. But here we go. We did that. We can't identify anything wrong with what we're doing. Our manager is clearly directing a lot of this frustration and negativity to us. We've asked for clarification and really calmly said, could you give me a sense or some feedback on what you'd like me to be doing instead, right? We've done all these things, and here we are, still kind of feeling like our manager is pushing all our buttons. Once our buttons are pushed, thinking objectively kind of goes right out the window.
Yep.
So now what happens? What do I do?
So I would say when you do talk to them, is well, you don't want to use a lot of, well, you're the worst boss, you did this, you want to avoid you statements. You can say, I feel as if I'm not doing the job you want me to do. I really want to be able to do that job. How can we fix this solution? If they're still giving you some grief, you could take some time away.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
Take space. Never hurts to
Yep.
take a little space.
And
just walk away.
sometimes coming back after that, they might reconsider and say, you know what, I was being unfair with you, Eric. You can do this, you can do that, it's okay. Worst case scenario, maybe that person's just having a hard time, maybe they just have it out for you, so you might have to go above their head and go to their boss.
Because bosses are people too, right?
Yep.
They are oftentimes not perfect, and sometimes they don't always do what they need to be doing as their role as a boss. Sometimes they get involved in situations that they don't know how to handle objectively, and they take that out on maybe some of their staff. And I think there's probably at least 1,000 movies dedicated to this theme. So it's not uncommon, it's very normal. But you said to take it above their head. So what would that really look like? How would you go about that?
Maybe you can say if you're at like a Target or whatever, and you have one manager during the day, and then they switch in the middle. Maybe you can try talking to that boss.
Okay, so try to bring your concerns to someone else. And should you,
or HR as well, too.
When you go to HR and you go to another boss, should you just come at them with a laundry list, or should you really say I? Should you stick with I?
Yep, I would say I would kind of write down before, maybe you're going to see the other boss the next day. Go home, make a list of, okay, these are the incidents that happened.
Yeah.
This is what I think that happened. And always, if someone says, well, Eric, or well, Hillary, I can see on that, but you did do this wrong. And then say, okay, can we elaborate?
So own our own mistakes.
Own our own mistakes.
Okay.
Don't scream, don't yell. Too long's never make a right.
That's true.
Old proverb, but it's very true. And a lot of people, they see if you really care and you're trying to solve the situation, the managers will respect that too.
Yeah. I also heard there's these people called job coaches.
Yep.
What's up with that? Is that maybe a solution? Could you talk to your job coach or your employment specialist about these kind of things?
You could call them and they'll probably suggest a lot of the things we're saying, or maybe even YouTube is everywhere now. There's a YouTube video for literally everything.
Ooh,
So you can watch that.
You can also talk to, maybe if you don't have an employment specialist, talk to a family member or a close friend and ask them for their perspective. Now, the caution would be your friends and family love you and they're going to take your side every single time. So unless you're giving them all of the details,
that's important.
you may get a biased view.
Yes. Or coworkers too. Maybe someone saw the situation. You can go to them and say, "Hey, I'm really upset with this boss. Hillary, what do you think I did wrong?
Should
did
you
I do
gossip
anything?"
though? Should you gossip about the incident?
No. Nope. That's only gonna make it worse.
Yeah,
and once again,
this
two
boss.
wrongs don't make a right.
That's right. So no gossiping. We're gonna leave gossip out. No yelling.
You want to stick to the facts.
Stick to the facts.
Not your feelings, which we've all been in those situations, and we all have feelings, and they get hurt. So we can be upset about it, but we want to stick to the facts. You don't want to exaggerate. You don't want to put things in that might not have been there.
But maybe if you really are feeling a certain way about it, instead of talking about your feelings per se, state the fact and identify the emotion that happened. So you can say, I was frustrated or I was angry, but you should really remove yourself from the moment when you're trying to do that. When Joe asked me to restock the back room and told me that I was being lazy, I felt really angry because I had worked an extra hour that day organizing it, and I don't understand what was wrong with it. Something like that. Put a lot of fact in it and then just identify the emotion maybe that was going along with the situation. Probably will get you further. Now, one other point. Let's suppose that I feel that some of these issues that are going on with my supervisor and my coworkers that I can't resolve may be directed at me because of my disability, and maybe I'm being discriminated against. What happens then?
Well, first thing I'd say, call your employment specialist or your
Ooh,
job coach.
smart.
Did you disclose? That's a big thing.
Okay, so have I
Yep.
disclosed?
Sometimes people can think, oh, Eric and Hillary, they're always just so angry. They give me this look, when it could just be you're feeling very anxious and you're not sure what to do.
Yeah.
Or you're confused on the situation. Maybe they told you something, your boss told you something, and it's just through the communication, the processing got
It
a little
wasn't
mixed
there.
up, you know?
Yeah. So if you feel that some of this may be related to something specific to your disability, again, employment specialist. Woo-hoo. So hopefully this was helpful,
Yep.
and good luck out there.
Bye.